7 years ago, Ethan and Amara were the kind of couple that turned heads. He was a scrappy business major at NYU, all ambition and big dreams, raised on a struggling Montana ranch. Amara, a black arts student from Brooklyn, was his opposite, vibrant, soulful, her laughter like a melody he couldn't stop humming. They met in a crowded lecture hall, her bold sketchbook catching his eye. Late-night talks turned into dates, then love, then a promise to build a life together. Their differences, his rural roots, her city spirit, only made them stronger. Amara's family welcomed Ethan, her mom, Grace, cooking him collard greens and teasing him about his cowboy boots. But Ethan's parents were colder, muttering about complications when he brought Amara home. They married anyway, in a small Brooklyn ceremony, dancing under string lights, whispering forever like it was a vow that could never break. But Ethan's dreams were bigger than their love, and that was the problem. His startup consumed him, late nights, missed dinners, Amara's voice fading into the background. "Don't let this tear us apart, Ethan," she pleaded, her eyes wet. He'd promised to slow down, but promises are fragile things. Success came fast, but it came with a shadow. Ethan's startup exploded, landing him contracts and wealth he'd only dreamed of. Amara, though, felt like a stranger in their new upscale apartment, her art supplies gathering dust while Ethan chased the next deal. Enter Lydia, a sharp-tongued colleague who saw Ethan's ambition and fed it. She flattered him, whispered doubts about Amara's loyalty, played on his insecurities. One night, on a business trip, Ethan caved. A few drinks, a hotel room, a mistake that burned his world to ash. Amara found out, Lydia's careless text lit up Ethan's phone, and the truth spilled out. The confrontation was raw, Amara's voice breaking as she demanded answers. "How could you do this to us?" Ethan, shame choking him, had no words. Amara packed a bag, her parting words cutting deep. "I loved you with everything, Ethan. You broke us." She vanished from his life, cutting all contact. He tried calling, texting, even showing up at her mom's Brooklyn brownstone, but Amara was gone, like she'd never existed. Ethan buried himself in work, building his empire, but the guilt never left. Now, standing in his driveway, Ethan's world tilted. "Amara, whose kids are those?" he stammered, his voice barely a whisper. Amara's gaze was steel. "They're yours, Ethan. Meet your children." The triplets, Ava, Noah, Zoe, stared at him, their faces a haunting blend of his features and Amara's glow. Ava clutched a sketchbook, Noah's hands fidgeted with a toy car, and Zoe's wide eyes studied Ethan like a puzzle. His mind raced. How? When? Why didn't she tell me? Amara's voice cut through his thoughts, sharp but trembling. "I found out I was pregnant after I left. You broke me, Ethan. I wasn't going to beg you to care." The words hit like a fist. 7 years, and he'd been a father without knowing. The triplets watched him, shy but curious. Ava stepped forward, her voice small. "Are you really our daddy?" Ethan's knees buckled. He knelt to her level, heart pounding, but words failed him. Amara, protective, pulled Ava back. "We're only here because I had no choice," she said, her tone hinting at a deeper story. Ethan's guilt surged. He'd built a fortune while Amara raised his kids alone. What forced her to come back now? Amara's life after Ethan was a battle she fought with grit. Pregnant and heartbroken, she'd returned to Brooklyn, moving into her mother Grace's cramped apartment. Grace, a nurse with a warm smile, held Amara through nights of tears, promising they'd get through it. The triplets' birth was a light in the dark. Ava, with her quiet creativity, Noah, bold and restless, Zoe, gentle and observant. But joy came with struggle. Amara juggled 2 jobs, art teacher by day, barista by night, her dreams of an art gallery buried under bills and diapers. She painted late at night, the triplets sleeping nearby, their soft breaths her only comfort. Pride kept her from contacting Ethan, She'd rather break than beg. But now, Grace was sick, cancer, the doctors said, and medical bills were drowning them. Amara's small savings were gone, her gallery dream failing. The triplets needed stability, clothes, a future. Swallowing her pride, she tracked Ethan to his farm, the address pulled from an old business article. I swore I'd never need him, she thought, watching her kids climb into the SUV. But for them, I'll face him again. Back in the present, Ethan led Amara and the triplets into his farmhouse, its polished floors and high ceilings a stark contrast to their worn sneakers and faded jackets. The kids' eyes widened at the space, Noah whispering, "It's like a castle." Ethan's throat tightened. This was his life, empty, despite the wealth. He saw Amara's exhaustion, the lines on her face, and the weight of 7 years hit him. He'd thrived while she struggled, raising his children. How did I let her go, he thought, watching Ava doodle on a napkin. How do I make this right? Amara's voice broke his reverie. We're not staying long. I need help for the kids, not for me. Her words were a wall, but Ethan caught the tremor in them. He offered them a guest room for the night, his voice soft. Please, just stay. Let's talk tomorrow. Amara hesitated, then nodded, her eyes guarded. As the triplets slept, Ethan stood outside their door, listening to their soft snores. He was a father, but a stranger. The hollow ache in his chest had a name now, regret. Can I be the man they need? Or will my past ruin this chance? The farmhouse dining room was thick with tension as Ethan set plates of spaghetti before Amara and the triplets. Ava twirled her fork, Noah slurped noisily, and Zoe watched Ethan like he was a stranger who might vanish. He tried to break the ice, his voice unsteady. Do you kids like animals? We've got horses out back. Noah's eyes lit up. Horses. Cool. But, why didn't you come find us? The question hung like a blade. Ethan's mouth went dry, his fork clattering to the plate. Amara's hand shot to Noah's, her voice firm. Eat your dinner, baby. But her eyes, locked on Ethan, screamed pain. After the kids were tucked into the guest room, Ethan faced Amara in the dim kitchen. I'm sorry, Amara. For everything. Her laugh was bitter. Words don't fix 7 years. She hesitated, then spilled the truth. Her mother, Grace, was battling cancer, the bills crushing her. The triplets needed a future, and Amara's pride couldn't save them. I'm here for them, not you, she said, her voice cracking. Ethan offered money, but she bristled. This isn't pity, Amara. It's what I owe. She shook her head, distrust carved into her face. Can he really change, or is this just another empty promise? Morning brought a shift. Ethan woke early, determined to connect with the triplets. He led them to the barn, where chickens clucked and goats bleated. Zoe giggled as a goat nibbled her fingers, her shyness melting. Ava sketched the animals, her pencil flying, while Noah raced Ethan across a field, shouting, "You're slow, mister." Ethan's heart swelled, their laughter filling the hollow he'd carried for years. But he saw himself in them, his curiosity, his stubborn streak, and it hit him, he'd missed 6 years of this. Amara watched from the porch, her arms crossed, torn between the joy on her kids' faces and the scars Ethan left on her heart. He approached her later, his voice low. I was a fool to lose you, Amara. I know I don't deserve a second chance. She met his gaze, softer now but guarded. This isn't about us. It's about them. Ethan nodded, vowing to prove himself. I'll do whatever it takes. Amara's boundaries were clear. We're not a family, Ethan. Don't get it twisted. But as Noah called him Dad, mid-laugh, Ethan felt a spark of hope. Trouble arrived with a sleek black car pulling into the driveway. Lydia, Ethan's old colleague, now a rival in the agribusiness world, stepped out, all charm and sharp edges. She didn't see Amara at first, her smile aimed at Ethan. "We need to talk business, Ethan. Big opportunities." Her tone dripped with old familiarity, and Amara, overhearing from the porch, felt her stomach twist. Memories of betrayal flooded back, Lydia's text, the night that broke her. She stormed forward, voice low but lethal. "You haven't changed, have you? Still letting her pull your strings?" Ethan's face paled. "Amara, it's not what you think." The triplets, playing nearby, froze as Ava whispered, "Why's mommy mad?" Ethan turned to Lydia, his voice cold. "Leave. Now." Lydia smirked but backed off, her car peeling away. Amara's eyes burned with tears and doubt. Ethan stepped closer, desperate. "I'm not that man anymore. Let me prove it, one day at a time." Amara wiped her face, voice trembling. "I'm scared to trust you, Ethan." The air hung heavy with their past, but Ethan's resolve hardened. Ethan didn't waste time. He contacted Grace's hospital, paying off her medical bills anonymously, his only request that they keep it secret. He set up a trust fund for the triplets, showing Amara the paperwork over coffee. "This is for their future, school, dreams, whatever they need." Her eyes widened, but she stayed silent, pride and gratitude warring inside her. Ethan pushed further, offering the farm's unused barn as a temporary art studio. "Your paintings deserve to be seen, Amara." Later, she wandered into the barn, finding an old canvas she'd painted in college, Ethan's face, young and hopeful, staring back. Tears fell as she traced the brushstrokes, love and pain tangled together. "I can't do this again," she whispered, but her heart wasn't so sure. Ethan kept at it, organizing a farm day for the triplets' school friends. Kids ran through fields, petting horses, while Ava, Noah, and Zoe beamed, calling him Dad without hesitation. Amara watched, her walls cracking as Ethan laughed with their kids, no trace of the man who'd betrayed her. The turning point came too soon. Grace's health improved, and Amara packed the triplets' bags, her decision made. "We're going back to Brooklyn," she told Ethan, her voice steady but eyes wet. "You've helped, but the kids deserve stability, not your world of drama." Ethan's chest tightened, panic rising. "Amara, please. I'm their father. I want to be there, for them, for you." The triplets overheard, Ava's voice breaking. "We want Daddy too, Mommy." Amara knelt, hugging them, tears spilling. "I'm trying to protect you," she whispered. Ethan stepped forward, his voice raw. "I know I failed you once. But I've changed because of them. Because of you." He offered a compromise: "I'll move to Brooklyn. No pressure, just let me be their dad." Amara searched his face, seeing sincerity where she once saw lies. The triplets clung to her, hopeful. She nodded, a tentative hug sealing the deal as Noah cheered, "We're staying with Dad." A fragile bridge formed between them, built on hope, not promises. 3 months later, Ethan rented a brownstone near Amara's in Brooklyn, trading his farm for city noise. He was there for the triplets, school drop-offs, soccer games, bedtime stories. Ava showed him her sketches, Noah dragged him to the park, and Zoe curled up next to him, whispering, "You're my favorite dad." Amara's barn studio became a hit, her paintings selling at a small gallery Ethan helped fund. One evening, at a Brooklyn park, the triplets ran ahead, laughing, while Ethan and Amara trailed behind. Their eyes met, not fully healed but warm with possibility. "We're not there yet," Amara said softly, a smile tugging at her lips. Ethan nodded. "But we're here now." The camera pulls back, their silhouettes against the sunset, a family finding its way. Sometimes, the hardest roads lead to the sweetest places. This isn't the end, it's a beginning. What do you think? Can love rebuild what's broken? Like, comment, subscribe for more stories that tug your heart.